What is up, guys? This is Jared Spalding here, and today I'm going to be covering a topic that, of course, still relates to silver, but not just silver, but as well as the stock market here. I'm going to be talking about why I think precious metals, and silver I'll be talking about in particular, because that's my PM of choice, I guess you could say, but why they are a lot more secure than the stock market, and a lot safer. So, you might know, or may have noticed that silver prices went up a little bit recently. Well, there's a very simple explanation for that. And that is because the stock market went very much downwards, in the past month, and a lot of people lost a decent amount of money. So these people, maybe they're not going to pull all their money out because they'll be taking a loss, but instead of putting more money into the stock market like they normally would, a lot of people are reverting to precious metals, which would drove up the price a little bit, brought up the demand, and that's what brought up the price a decent amount, when it was shooting up really quickly. And at least that's what I think is a big part of it. And I'm sure there's other, reasons involved, but because if you notice the price changing in many different markets, but they're the opposite of each other, then usually it's going to be, because of something like that, people jumping from one market to another, and I believe it's because people jumped into the precious metals because they know they're a lot safer. And why are they safer, though? Well, there's a few simple reasons for this. For one, the stock market is very, very fast-paced. You could invest $1,000 and within a month, turn that into $100,000, or you could lose $100,000 within a month. I mean, it is very fast paced, and if you're not keeping on your toes at all times, you're really not gonna know where you're even at with, if you're not checking it every day, maybe even more than that, you could fall behind very easily in the stock market, and you need to know a lot more than just whatever stock you're investing in also. It's a lot harder to learn than silver, because when you're investing in silver, you need to know one thing, silver. But if you invest in the stock market, you don't just need to know about the stocks you're going to invest in. You need to know the whole thing, and the whole stock market is, very difficult to really learn that well. You're going to have to know, if you're going to invest in one company, you're going to have to understand how stocks are going for 20 other companies as well, because of the fact that, if stocks go up in one company, it can bring down your company's stocks, or vice versa, because all the stocks play on each other a lot, one stock will go up, another one will go down, because usually in the stock market, if you're making money, someone else is losing money. If you're losing money, someone else is making money. That's usually the way it works. It's kind of a pool system there, where money is going from one hand, one set of hands to another. It's not like, everyone's making money. It's not usually the way it works. So that's why all these different stocks are going to be connected to each other. You're going to have to understand many stocks just to invest in one company. Also, another kind of more solid thing about silver is the fact that it's always going to hold value. No matter what, silver is going to be, silver. I mean, it's not like a certain company might collapse, let's say, unexpectedly, right? And all their investors, lose all their money because, of course there's ways to protect yourself in the stock market, It's not like you just go into it and there's nothing you can do to have your stocks be protected, but the thing is that, you're not going to be completely secure. You never can be, because, as before, the stock market can always crash, and there was nothing protecting people then once, the entire thing crashed, and, billions of dollars was lost within a second. That's pretty insane to think about, really. Of course, there was a lot of build up to that, a lot of other things going on, but it was really very fast that the actual stock market itself collapsed, and that's when, there was nothing people really could have done to protect their money then. And while silver prices, of course, will go down, they're never going to crash like that. And the other thing about silver is that usually you're not going to have all of your wealth just be silver, With stocks, you could have, billions of dollars in the stock market that you could lose instantly. With silver, you might lose some money for a little bit, but that's why you invest in other forms of silver besides your constitutional, because then you're protected even if the price goes down. That's why, all of this right here is going to be considered, numismatically valuable pieces to an extent. These two maybe not so much, but I can guarantee you all these peace dollars, this is, or Peace and Morgan dollars, I'm sorry. This is a really old half dollar here, and this is semi-key half, key day quarter. All of this right here, even if the price goes down, is still protected, because even if the price went down by 25%, you might be losing $1.50 on this coin right here, when it's still worth, well over 100, but it's still worth, over $100, even if you lost, $1.50 on it, as opposed to, bullion, which, you would be losing a lot of money on. But with silver, you can, of course, always wait. Maybe that's not necessarily an option with the stock market, though, if you're kind of doing that as a living, because buying and selling silver, at least if you're doing it for the long run, it's not going to be your livelihood, so you're going to, still have a job, still have other things going on for you, and therefore you can afford to, wait 10, 20 years for the price to go back up if you want to. If that's how long it's going to take, that's how long it's going to take, and you can afford to wait if you're investing properly by, making sure that you're waiting a long time, because the short-term investing, that is when, you basically take away that protection and turn silver into a livelihood, just like someone might do with the stock market, and the price crashes and then you can't eat next month, But generally, if you're investing like I do, just kind of, not casually, like, I wouldn't call myself a casual investor, but, only investing to the point where, you still plan to hold on to the silver, even if it, it were to go up a couple of dollars an ounce. You're not going to sell it and then try to buy it I plan to hold on to this for a very long time. And so that kind of does protect me, because I'm not relying on it as a primary or even a source of income at all. I'm just buying it and stacking it, just to hold on to it for a long time. Whereas in the stock market, if you're relying on it completely, and not all people do, most people still going to have a job, but when you have to rely on that completely, that's where it's a lot less safe, because you might not be eating next month, because now you're all of a sudden, hundreds of millions of dollars in debt, as opposed to being a billionaire, But I hope you guys enjoyed the quick video. That's it for this one. Peace, love, and much respect.